Welcome back, y'all. What's happening out there in WBB land? We are back with another video, and this is a 13-part series that will chronicle every team's 2025 offseason. Each video will detail every team's current roster, their salary cap and assets, as well as look at free agent targets, needs, and an overall trajectory for the upcoming 2025 WNBA season. Without further ado, let's get it popping. The Minnesota Lynx were one Kayla McBride three-point shot away from hoisting their 5th WNBA Finals trophy last October. Instead, they couldn't quite finish the job and New York took the throne. It was a bitter pill to swallow, being so close and knowing you were talented enough to win. But did the Lynx do enough this offseason to solidify themselves as the co-favorites in 2025? In this video, we're going to discuss all the things they did or didn't do, as well as their 2025 outlook. Here we see the 9 returning Lynx players from last year's final run. The most notable subtraction, of course, is Myisha Hines-Allen, who signed a $200,000 free agent deal in Dallas. Truth be told, she was always going to be far too expensive for the Lynx to bring back, but more importantly, her finals performance, where she was virtually unplayable, all but sealed her fate in Minnesota. Let's take a look and see what they did bring in, first with the signing of Carly Samuelson from Washington, another outside shooter that would seem to fit this Cheryl Reeve offense extremely well. In that pivotal Game 5 loss to New York, Minnesota had one of their worst shooting nights of the season, going just 3 of 19. Adding a player like Samuelson that can come off the bench and keep that court fully extended, in my estimation, will be a net gain from Myisha Hines-Allen rotationally. Not to mention they got her for about half the cost. Next up, the Lynx brought in Grace Berger from Indiana. Seeing as Minnesota really saw a size disadvantage in the finals matchup with New York, I really anticipated them to target another conventional big, but instead they opt for Berger, who can give Courtney Williams spells and run this Reeve offense efficiently as a facilitator. Finally, they brought back a fan favorite and Swiss Army knife in Jessica Shepard. Now, Shepard does a little bit of everything and could prove to see some very meaningful minutes in the middle portions of the game. This gives Minnesota more depth in passing from the forward position, but I think more importantly, it gives Cheryl Reeve the ability to give Napheesa Collier more rest on a night-to-night basis. The league just added 4 more games to the regular season, as well as making the finals a 7-game series. This means fresh legs and battling attrition have to be top of mind for any contending front office, and I think bringing Shep back in the fold helps aid this for Minnesota. Now, I want to be clear, Minnesota currently has several more players in training camp as we speak, but this is my prediction of what the final Lynx roster looks like headed into opening night. One slight bit of cap minutia is that with the Berger $79K deal and the Shepard $78K deal, Minnesota will actually be over that $1.507 cap max. Now, Collier and Carlton both have unprotected contracts, so I think if they take a little haircut each, this will allow Minnesota to come in right at or below the number to carry these 12 players. I also want to note that the Lynx used the 15th overall pick in this most recent draft for Russian forward Anastasia Kuso. She's obviously going to be a draft and stash, another asset to add to the little war chest. They also got a first-round draft pick in 2026 for trading that 11th overall pick. I think that was a really savvy move because this pick was always going to be a draft and stash with their cap situation. And finally, let's address the question I posed off the top and whether or not I think Minnesota did enough this offseason to not only get back to the finals, but actually win a title. The hedge answer is I have less faith this year than I did last. I was someone who was extremely bullish on Minnesota all season long and actually thought they were the best team headed into the playoffs and into the finals. They have an ideal play style and efficiency on both ends, but I think their cap situation made it nearly impossible for them to add what I think they need to beat an even better New York Liberty squad. Jonquel Jones dominated the paint in the finals last year, and I don't think that changes at all this year. Not to mention New York adds more depth more shooting, and more versatility. Now, to be clear, Minnesota is my no doubt second best team in the WNBA headed into the season, but I'm not sure they did enough in the 2025 offseason to get back and win, but we will see. And as always, I pass the question to you. Do you make Minnesota the clear second choice? Or do you think teams like Indiana, Las Vegas, have they surpassed them with their offseason? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, like, share, and hey, hit that subscribe button. It's free.